Basta lang po, sir, ano po ang mangyayari halimbawa po yung uupong hukom na senador, may kamag-anak po na kongresista na pumirma doon sa impeachment halimbawa ng Vice President. Ano pong mangyayari sa kanila?
Ang pag-inhibit ng huwes sa rules of court man o sa rules on impeachment ay voluntary sa parte niya. Walang proseso para pwersahang ipa-inhibit sa pamamagitan ng botohan ang sino mang hukom sa anumang paglilitis. So, kung meron mang ganyang pagkakataon, desisyon niya. Pero babalik rin ko. O de kung may posisyon pala yung pumirma, may posisyon din ba yung hindi pumirma na kailangan din mag-inhibit yung kamag-anak nun? Hindi naman siguro, di ba? Bakit nyo sasabihin kailangan lang mag-inhibit yung pumirma? Bakit hindi nyo sasabihin dapat mag-inhibit yan yung hindi pumirma? It cuts both ways. But for me, it's a purely voluntary act, whether an impeachment judge will inhibit himself or herself.
Sir, follow-up doon. Pwede daw bang ma-disqualify ang sinumang senador na nag-express ng opposition sa impeachment?
Ma-disqualify saan?
Sa pag-act as impeachment judge. Kasi may nagsabing, oo. Hindi, parang tututulan ko hanggang dulo yung impeachment.
19th Congress ba yan o 20th Congress? Kasi ang magpapasya, 20th na eh. So, ang tinatanong ko sa inyo, yung senador bang nagsasabi niya na i-acquit ay 19th Congress ba siya o 20th Congress?
Kung manalo, sir.
O de, hindi pa natin alam. So, 19th nga ba o 20th? Kaya yung tanong ko, di ba?
Pero sir, kung sakali, na hanggang 20th.
Again, I will admonish and keep on reminding the senators who will surely be part of the impeachment court, either in the 19th or 20th Congress, dahil impeachment court pa rin naman ang magpapasya ng ilang preliminary na mga bagay. To kindly, please, refrain from talking one way or the other for or against the impeachment or against or the impeachable officer in relation to this case. Pwede naman nilang purihin si Vice President Sara hanggang langit kung gusto nila nang walang kinalaman at hindi pumapatungkol sa impeachment. Wala namang problema yun. Pero this is a mere reminder and admonition. Wala naman akong kapangyarihang pigilan o busalan ng kahit na sinong miyembro na nais magsalita kaugnay nito.
Mayan, Amor, and then RG. Ay, Raymond pa pala, sorry.
Actually, mainit dito ha. Mainit siya ha. Hindi niya ka-jacket-jacket. Kaya lang malulunod ako sa...
Hi sir, good morning. Sir, ito kasi walang jurisprudence, walang president na yung tumanggap na composition ng Senado sa impeachment complaint ay itatransfer doon sa incoming Congress. So ano yung parang legal or constitutional basis natin na pwede nga na ma-push through doon sa incoming new composition of Congress?
Tama ka na unang beses lamang mangyayari ito sa Pilipinas. Sa Amerika, hindi. Pero sinabi ko rin na may pagkakaiba. May pagkakataon sa Amerika na tumawid na yung impeachment sa panibagong kongreso. Pero ang pagkakaiba nga, 2/3 kasi ng senador doon ay naiiwan pa. Dito, 1/2. Pero, tatawid ang pagiging Senate President kung hindi pa tapos ang kanyang termino tulad ko hanggang 20th Congress. So, gaya ng sabi ko kanina, may basehan tulad ng ibang collegial courts. Ulitin ko, yung mga nakabinbin bang kaso sa Korte Suprema, pag may nag-retire na justice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, dismissed yun at kailangan mo mag-file uli. Yung mga nakabinbing kaso ba sa Sandigan Bayan, sa COMELEC, sa Civil Service, sa Court of Appeals, dismissed ba yun pag may nag-retire na isang maestrado? Ang sagot din ay hindi. At yun siguro ang pinakamalapit na analogy, comparison na pwede natin gamitin sa impeachment court, na collegial court din. Minsan nga, bibigyan pa kita ng mas malalang sitwasyon. Yung ordinaryong korte natin na isa lang ang judge, nag-retire yung judge. Ibig sabihin ba nun, lahat ng pending na kaso sa korte niya, dismissed? At kailangan i-file uli dahil nagpalit ng judge? Court of record ang ating mga korte tulad ng impeachment court. Siguro ang basihan ay hindi na tumutuloy-tuloy yung Senado or semi-continuing body ang Senado. Ang basihan ay Court of record ang impeachment court. At dapat lamang na magpatuloy yon hanggang matapos yung kaso. At hindi dito dapat kinikilala yung pagpapalit nung nakaupong mahistrado, tulad nga ng sa ordinaryong kaso. Kung yun nga, criminal case, ang kapalit at ang parusa, pagkamatay, o kung may death penalty, o habang buhay na pagkakakulong. Tuloy-tuloy. Ano pa kaya ito na administratibo lamang? Ibig sabihin, wala itong kulong, wala itong parusang kamatayan. Pagkakatanggal lamang sa pwesto at pagbabawal na humawak na anumang pwesto sa gobyerno.
Okay, Mian, Amor, and then RG.
Sir, sabi niyo ipapatawag lang si VP Sara pag kinakailangan. Pero what if gusto niyang magsalita, sir?
Walang
Pwede.
karapatan po niya yun. That is part of the rights of an accused under the Bill of Rights to confront his or to confront the witnesses against her. Karapatan po niyan. Mag-attend araw-araw, kada hearing, magsalita bilang abogado. Dahil pwede siyang tumayong abogado para sa sarili niya o tumayo pa nga bilang testigo. Umupo bilang testigo. Pwede po yan. Nasa sa kanya. Pero hindi siya pwedeng piliting tumestigo sa kaso because it will violate, on the other hand, the right against self-incrimination. Kumbaga, hindi siya pwedeng patawag ng prosecution at pwersahang paupuin doon para tanungin kung ayaw niya. That cannot be done.
Sir, yung nangyari kay CJ Corona noon, pwede rin po ba o gagawin niyo ng rules to na magsi-statement lang ayaw niya ng Q&A?
Hindi pwede. Dahil sang-ayon sa rules of court that is suppletorily applicable to impeachment to the impeachment trial, may karapatan mag-cross-examine ang kabilang panig sa sino man testigo ipepresenta ng kabilang panig. So, pag nagpresenta ng testigo ang prosecution, may karapatang i-cross-examine yan ng depensa.
I mean, sir, si VP Sara, kung just in case
No,
na parang
kung sino man nga, karapatan yan ng kabila. At kapag ka hindi na subject sa cross-examination, hindi admissible yung testimonya ng testigo.
Sir, may...
Sir, pag just in case naman daw ipatawag niyo, kailangan siya, pero hindi siya dumating, meron bang kaparusahan pag ganun?
The impeachment court, very much like the Senate, more so in fact because it is an impeachment court, has the power and authority to issue subpoena. May kapangyarihan nga kami mag-issue ng subpoena.
Sir,
At
may...
sang-ayon sa rules, yan ay pwedeng i-issue lamang either sa pamamagitan ng botohan o kung babaguhin yung rules, sa pamamagitan lamang ng kautusan ng presiding officer.
Sir, may certain period ba para tapusin yung impeachment trial o pwede itong pang matagalan?
Wala, pero sino ba naman na may gustong umabot ito till kingdom come? Wala naman siguro may gusto nun. One way or the other, kailangan ito pagpasahan at desisyonan. Ulitin ko, nang hindi minamadali, pero hindi rin naman pinagpapaliban ng labis.
Okay, Amor and then RG.
SP, kung matuloy po yung impeachment trial nga this 19th Congress, ang sabi niyo po possible na umaga, plenary session, and then hapon, yun pong impeachment trial. So sir, paano yung time dun sa mga pending bills and offhand? May mga nakikita po ba kayong mga bills na pwedeng maapektuhan ng lack of time dahil matatapos na nga po yung 19th Congress?
Maliit na lamang ang epekto kung meron man. Dahil pagbalik namin sa June 2, 6 na session days na lamang ang meron namin. So, 6 na session days na lamang apektado nung AM-PM schedule na binabanggit mo. At kung mako-convene nga yung impeachment court sa panahong yon, magre-recess na rin kami makalipas ang 6 na session days. So, yung balance ng mga araw na yun hanggang June 30 ay puro trial na lamang yun. Dahil hindi na kami pwede magsesyon.
Sir, bills na nakikita
Hinahabol?
dapat ihabol pa?
To name a few that comes to mind. Number 1, yung Konektadong Pinoy. Number 2, na BICAM na-approve na on third reading by both houses. Yung e-Gov bill, na hindi umabot yung ratification ng Bicameral Conference Committee report dahil may ilang pang concerns ang executive branch. Kasi nga, ayoko nang may nabibito Ayoko may binabalik sa BICAM So, hanggat maaari nakikipag-coordinate kami closely sa executive kaugnay sa mga panukalang batas na pinapasa namin. Pangatlo, yung right-sizing bill. Tatalakayin din namin yan. Pang-apat ay yung Virology Act na ibabaycam during the recess. Ito ay pagpapalakas ng ating Virology Department para sa ngayon ay kung magka-pandemya muli, mas kaya na nating i-handle ito. Again, to name a few, those will be at the top of my mind. Yung? Hindi, yung mga binanggit ko, lahat nasa LEDAC. Yung wage hike, hindi ko alam kung magiging prioridad yan ng Kamara o hindi. Pero kung maalala nyo, ulitin ko, nagpasa kami ng wage hike, mahigit 1 taon na ang lumilipas, 100 pesos. Pinasaya ng Kamara recently lang. Pero ang ginawa ko ay inappointan ko ng bicameral conferees lahat ng mga bill na pending. Para sa gayon ay kung sakasakali, mapag-usapan yan. Maliban na lang kung sinabi ng Kamara na hindi sila interesado dyan.
Okay, RG. Ay, okay ka na, Emma?
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, kasi kanina sabi niyo you will review the signature. So,
No, the secretary
the
will...
secretariat will review
Wag
the
naman
signature.
na ako yun.
The secretariat.
Ayoko.
O nga, 200 yun. But sir,
Hindi, may app pa. We will be using several apps to be able to detect and check. Minsan, by the naked eye, kita na kung e-sig o wet signature.
okay sir, after kung halimbawa mangyari nga talaga that the earliest action of the Senate will be after or by June.
June 2.
June 2. Maraming pwede mangyari within that time. The complexion of Congress might change because of the elections. Since napag-usapan na naman natin yung hypothetical kanina,
So, hypothetical tayo ulit.
is it also possible na the next Congress, the House, can withdraw the complaint?
Yes. Tulad lamang ng anumang complaint na inihain sa korte, pwedeng bawian. Halimbawa, criminal case man o civil case. Gitna ito o administrative case. Pwedeng i-withdraw ng nagrereklamo ang kaso sa anumang panahon. Sa kaso ng Kongreso, it has to be withdrawn by more than 2/3 para hindi umabot dun sa 1/3 requirement. Ngayon, kung tatanungin mo, paano yan? Nagkaroon na ng jurisdiction yung Senado Pwede ba bang bawiin yun pagdating ng panahong yun ng panibagong Kongreso? Isang bagay yan na pagpapasyahan ng impeachment court pagdating ng panahon by a majority vote if they disagree with the ruling of the presiding officer. But your question was, I take it, pwede bang gawin yan ng Kongreso? Yes, they can do that. Pero kung may epekto ba yun na actual na i-withdraw, pagdedesisyonan ng impeachment court yan at ayokong pangunahan.
So possible, sir, na kahit i-withdraw, kung mag-decide yung Senate na ituloy,
Once pending na sa korte, lahat ng gagawin ay desisyonan ng korte at
Korte.
hindi pwedeng pagpasya ng isang panig lamang.
okay, before Mab, sir, may nagpapatanong, although na-explain nyo na ito before, paano daw kung ma-impeach or ma-convict dito sa Senate si BP Sara, paano daw yung pag-appoint ng papalit sa kanya?
Sang-ayon pa rin sa saligang batas tulad ng nangyari matapos ang EDSA 2 nung pumalit si dating Vice President Arroyo kay Pangulong Estrada. So yung Vice President naging presidente, naging bakante yung Vice Presidency. Nag-appoint si Pangulong Arroyo mula sa Kongreso, Kamara at Senado. Ang requirement ng edad, ang lahat ng requirement para maging senador at kongresista at vice-presidente-presidente ay pareho, maliban sa edad. Ang kongresista, 25. Ang senador, 35. Ang requirement para sa vice president and president, 40. So, pwedeng pumili si Pangulong Marcos ng kongresista o senador na ang edad ay 40 years old and above. Matapos niyang pumili bilang kanyang nominado, pagbobotohan yan by a majority vote ng magkabilang kamara, House at Senate. Voting separately. Simple majority, voting separately. Ano?
You are highly qualified.
I don't think there's a senator below 40.
So, sir, qualified ka nga.
No, hindi ako. But lahat ng senador ay qualified at yung mga mambabatas na 40 and above ay qualified. Yun yung pool ng qualified na mga taong pwedeng i-nominate.
Kung i-nominate ka, sir, open ka na maging vice president.
Ayokong pag-usapan yan because it's unfair. We will be sitting as an impeachment court. Pero sa totoo lang, mamaya sabihin ko sa iyo kung bakit kung bakit ko ayaw.
Yung pagbobotohan ng House and Senate, what if hindi ba ako majority?
Alin, kung ayaw, that deemed rejected, pili sa ng bago.
Ano ba? Okay.
Kailangan i-confirm Pag hindi kinonfirm ng Kongreso voting separately by a simple majority, hindi siya, pili uli ng bago. Pero kinonfirm ng hindi ni-reject.
Oo, in-appoint siya and then
A simple
kinonfirm.
majority confirmed the nominee of then President Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo.
Okay, Mark.
Hi, SP. I understand you clarify na kanina na
Yeah,
maaaring
please.
20th Congress na po yung the
Yes.
eventual ending. No? But working under the scenario na under the 19th Congress, we have 23 senators. So 2/3 of 24 seats po ba yung vote to convict or 2/3 of the 23 current?
Yeah.
Still of 24 because always favorable to the accused.
So,
So there's already one favorable vote in the 19th Congress sa impeachable officer because that officer cannot vote in favor of the impeachment to comprise 2/3. 16 pa rin.
okay.
Sir, yung length ng impeachment depende sa mga evidence at doon sa proceeding. Wala namang certain dapat 3 months tapos na yung ano.
Wala akong balak ilagay na cap, walang cap sa rules, pero gaya ng sabi ko, through judicial affidavits, bagong rule ng Korte Suprema yan sa Rules of Court, and a stricter, longer, more complete pre-trial brief, hindi magtatagal naman siguro ng ganun katagal. Lalo na, continuous trial talaga ito. Day to day, we will conduct the trial.
Monday to Friday, Monday to
Depende na, ulitin ko, sa magiging rules ng Senado. Pero nung kay Corona ba, Monday to ano ba yan?
Thursday.
Parang okay
pahinga
naman.
ng Friday.
Basta hindi na abot ng Sabado at Linggo yan. Kung ang teleserye nga hanggang Biyernes lang, di ba? Huwag na natin paabutin ng Sabado at Linggo.
Sir, yung pre-trial.
O tumatawad ka na ng 4 days. Yung kay Corona. Yan. So hindi nalalampas ng teleserye 5 araw sa isang linggo.
Yung pre-trial, mga ilang araw lang yun, sir.
It'll only last for a few days. Actually, even 1 day kung nagkakasundo na sila. Given the amount of time involved, itong panahong to, hindi lamang Senado ang dapat na mag-aral, maghanda. Ang dapat sana mag-aral at maghanda rin ay yung magkabilang panig. Let me give notice to both sides. Both the prosecution panel and the defense panel of the defense team of the Vice President. They have sufficient time to prepare and study for this. So, hindi naman siguro katanggap-tanggap, hindi lamang sa amin, sa mata ng publiko, na pagbigyan anumang delay, na hindi sila handa, walang testigo, hindi handa yung ebidensya, dahil itong panahong to dapat ginugugol na nila para gawin at kompletuhin yan.
Pati yung impeachment judge, sir, dapat mag-aral.
Well, kahit naman ako naghahanda, magbabasa uli, ang tagal ko nang hindi nagpa-practice. Matagal-tagal na ako hindi nakakapag-appear din sa husgado. Nagbago na rin yung rules on evidence. Gagamitin ko rin itong panahong to para magbasa muli, to brush up on my rules on evidence, the Supreme Court decisions on the rules on evidence. At nang magampanan na namin yung aming tungkulin na may buong katapatan sa probisyon ng batas.
Okay, Mav, and then may Ann.
Sir, sorry. In case po na senator yung ma-appoint at ma-confirm, do you operate on 23 senators lang? Paano kung
Ma-appoint o ma-confirm? What do you mean?
kunwari po, piliin ni
Magbobotohan.
Presidente, tapos ma-confirm siya ng Kongreso. Oo, sir, ano lang, hypothetical lang.
Layo mo na, ha?
Yes, sir.
Layo mo
Hindi,
na, darling,
kanina,
ha?
sir, kasi napag-usapan na po yung kapalit.
Layo mo na nga, darling. Ha?
Oo. And sir, kapag ka po kasi kunwari,
Senador
nagkaroon
na
ng
appoint.
hatol na parang by July, ganyan. So sir, isang buong Congress na 23 lang kayo, ganun.
The decision to call for a special election is to be decided upon by Congress. Ang pagtatawag ng special election sa anumang bakanting pwesto, congressman o mayor, vice mayor o senador ay desisyon ng Kongreso. Bakit? Kailangan kasi mag-appropriate ng pondo para sa special election na yon. At hindi basta-bastang nagagawa yun. Sa kaugnay naman ng COMELEC, meron silang pondo. There are times, may mga taon na may pondo sila for special elections. Pero may mga taon na wala. So kung may pondo sila to conduct special elections, COMELEC can do it on its own by basing it on a resolution either from the House or the Senate to fill that seat. Pero madalas sa madalas, in practice, hindi po ginagawa dahil may quorum pa naman ang Senado. Hindi naman makakaapekto sa quorum. Marami na rin nabakanteng posisyon sa House sa pamamagitan ng pagpanaw ng mga mambabatas. Hindi na nagpapatawag ng special election ang Kamara. Bihira magpatawag. So based on the resolution, pwede magpatawag ang COMELEC. Kung may pondo sila, Kung wala, kailangan talaga ng isang batas para magpatawag ng special election.
Sir, sorry, may pahabol na
Yes,
tanong lang po yung desk ko. Kanina, sir, yung kung hindi po atin si VP Sara, tapos pinatawag siya dito, pwede siya isubpoena.
Yes.
Should she ignore the subpoena? What happens?
Subpoena is a compulsory process, meaning to say she can be compelled to attend. Like what we do with respect to witnesses in the hearings of the Senate. The Sergeant at Arms, with the assistance and aid of law enforcement officers, may effect the compulsory order for her to appear.
Mag-issue
in
ng warrant
plenary.
of arrest, sir?
But I heard a comment of Vice President Estrada that she welcomes this in order to present her case. So, VP Duterte, sorry. That she welcomes this.
Estrada.
Sinasabi ko?
Estrada.
Sorry. VP. But I heard a comment of VP Sara in connection with the looming impeachment complaint to be filed against her that she would welcome it as an opportunity to present her side of the story vis-a-vis the accusations being hurled against her by members of the House. So I hope that will indeed be her position.
So, kung mag-change yung kanyang stand, hindi nga siya mag-attend kahit may subpoena, possible yung pag-issue ng warrant of arrest.
Merong subpoena lang. Hindi pa naman warrant. Subpoena is enough.
Kung hindi pa rin nga siya mag-attend.
Again, a subpoena is a compulsory process. The Sergeant at Arms and law enforcement officers can enforce a subpoena.
Okay, and then Cecil.
Sir, yung pre-trial ay mangyayari pag na-convene na? O pre-trial
Under our rules kasi, wala pa yon. Kasi wala pa naman noon eh. So, pag sa amendment namin ng rules, nilagay na yon, pwedeng pagpasyahan ng 19th Congress na payagan na yon sa ilalim ng 19th Congress. Dahil nga, yung presiding officer, sang-ayon sa aming rules, ay may kapangyarihan to take proper order of the subject matter of impeachment.
I mean, it should happen, yung pre-trial, pag na-convene. So, June 2 onwards pa rin.
Hindi kailangan nga ma-convene eh. Kasi, ang magulo pa siya eh. Kung isipin mo, convene, susumpa, tapos susumpa uli.
Sir, basic to. Ano po bang laman ng pre-trial?
Nakalagay doon yung mga ebidensya nila, yung bilang ng testigo nila, at nakapaloob doon yung judicial affidavits nila. Kumbaga, halos wala ng direct examination. Dito na napanood nyo sa Corona trial na, so nung petsang to, nasaan ka? Nakalagay na rin yung kwento niya, ipapa-identify na lamang sa kanya yung kanyang judicial affidavit. Ikaw ba talaga gumawa nito? Pirma mo ba to? Lahat ba na nakapaloob dito ay totoo? Cross-examination na diretso.
So,
It will abbreviate the proceedings. Mas mabilis ang proceedings. Ngayon, may nakasaad din sa rules of court na yung mga testigo at ebidensya na hindi mo binanggit dyan, hindi mo na pwedeng ipresenta pa. Maliban na lang kung nadiscover mo lamang nitong makalipas ang ilang araw, ilang oras na wala pa, hindi mo pa alam nung ginawa mo yung pre-trial. So, may mga ganon. So, in a way, nalilimitahan niya yung pagpapatagal na maaaring gawin ng magkabilang panig.
Basically, the pre-trial is just a submission of yung nga mga affidavit.
Yes.
Which could happen before the convening.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. If the rules will authorize the presiding officer to issue those, kabilang na yung pagpapasagot kay VP Sara, kabilang na yung pagsasabit ng reply ng mga prosecutors. Lahat ng bagay na ito, hindi pa to trial, can be done already under the 19th Congress, lalampas ng konti sa 20th Congress, pero yung trial mismo talaga, magsisimula ng 20th Congress. Except again, kung sa rules ay sabihin na pwedeng mag-receive ng evidence through commissioners. Yung 12 may iiwang, kasi ginagawa na rin ng korte yan ngayon eh. Pwedeng tumanggap na ebidensya ay may iiwang 12. Trial na rin yun in a way. Dahil tumatanggap ka na ng ebidensya through commissioners, quote-unquote eh. Not the whole court. If that will be decided upon by the majority.
Sir, safe pa rin sabihin that the impeachment trial mag-uumpisa ng 19th, itutuloy ng 20th,
Yes.
hahatulan ng 20th.
Yes.
Tama, okay.
Yung paghahatol, pagpapasya, 20th na.
Okay, sir, isa na lang sa akin. Sir, paano po yung mga hindi lawyers na mga magiging senator judge? Dapat bang mag-aral sila? May mas extra effort pa sa kanila dapat?
Oo, dahil yung abogado nga mag-aaral eh. Ako nga mag-aaral eh. So lahat kami dapat mag-aaral. Pero kung susuriin nyo, ilan ba ang abogado din naman ngayon sa 19th Congress? Ako, Senator Pia, Senator Alan, Senator Tol, Senator Coco. There are 5.
So sir, itong impeachment indication na gaano ka-importante ng mga lawyer ang lawmakers.
Hindi naman kailangan abogado kasi nga hindi naman kailangan maging abogado kasi naman kahit nga abogado mag-aaral pa eh. Baka mamaya mas malalim pa yung pag-aaral nila kaysa dun sa abogado na akala niya alam na niya na lahat, di ba? So, hindi naman nangangahulugan.
Itong break na to.
Yes, to start, especially those who will remain until the 20th Congress because they're not up for the election. Siyempre, yung mga tumatakbo pa lang, asikasuhin na muna nila yung kampanya nila, okay lang yun.
Okay, RG, and then Cecil, and then Jojo.
Sir, as a politician, how will you describe yung political context habang nakabitin tong issue na impeachment for the next few months? I mean, can you imagine having a campaign with this and then sabi nyo aabot ng 20th? Can you imagine having a SONA, the budget hearings with this looming, hanging over everybody else's heads?
This is a legal constitutional process. Hindi natin dapat to ikatakot o ikabahala. May election man, wala mang election, may SONA man, wala mang SONA. Ito'y constitutional process na tinalaga ng ating saligang batas para mapayapang maresolbahan anumang hindi natin pagkakaunawaan o para magawa yung gusto nating magawa. Or mahadlangan yung ayaw nating makita mangyari. We should not be afraid of this. If this will be an election issue, then so be it. Hindi ba maganda yun? At least may valid election issue na pwede mo talagang tanungin sa mga kandidato. Na pwedeng pagbasihan ng ating mga botante kung iboboto nga ba nila o hindi. Ang partikular na kongresista o senador. At least yung dalawang pwestong yun man lang. At least it will be in a way issue-based. At hindi nakabase lamang sa personalidad. So we can look at it positively too. In a way, given that there is an issue we are facing in time of during election and campaign season.
So magiging election issue nga ito, sir. Kasi after election pa yung start ng
I think it will be. And given what I said, that it's the 20th Congress that will actually decide on this. Both the prosecution side and the impeachment judge side.
Sino magbe-benefit kung maging election issue ito, sir? The public?
Definitely the public. Sino ba naman ang tatalikod, tatagi at may ayaw sa isang issue-based election? Kumpara sa isang personality-based election.
So makaka-apekto ito sa magiging voting decision ng...
Ngayon, ang problema lang, siyempre, issue siya, so tatanungin ng mga tao. Kung boboto kita, anong boto mo sa impeachment? Di ba? Sa kabilang banda, kailangan maghunos dili naman din sila. Kasi para pa kami nag-trial, kung may desisyon na agad sila, hindi pa nga napapakinggan yung ebidensya. So, siguro panawagan ko na rin to dun sa mga tumatakbong senador bilang isa sa 12 may iwan, hindi bilang tagapangulo ng Senado. Bilang isa sa 12 may iwan na maghunos dili din naman sila. Ang pinakamaganda sigurong pwedeng masabi ay tatayuan nila kung anong tama, nararapat, na ayon sa hustisya, batas at ebidensya kung saan man siya ituro nun. Sapat na sigurong kasagutan yon kesa, pag ako nanalo, acquit talaga yan. Pag ako nanalo, convict talaga yan. I hope they will avoid those things. But then again, I cannot control the passions of a campaign speech, especially during election time.
Okay, Cecil and then Jojo.
Sir, can we say na under jurisdiction na ngayon ng Senate yung CBP since na-transfer na yung impeachment case?
VP herself, no. The subject of impeachment, yes.
And second, yung physical preparation.
Because the only time a court acquires jurisdiction over the person of a respondent, accused, or defendant is when she files her answer or in a criminal case when she is arraigned. So, on her person, hindi pa.
Anyway, second, sir, yung preparation when it comes to robes and other...
At least may mahabang panahon kami, 3 buwan para magpasukat.
Kamukha din nung ginamit po dun sa kay
Okay lang naman yung robe, wag lang yung isama yung wig.
So talagang robe, sir. Yan ang isusuot nyo.
Hindi, pag-uusapan pa rin yan. Ayokong pangunahan. Pero sa palagay ko, saganang akin, pero ito'y pagbabotohan ng mayoriya. Importante pa rin yung robe, ika nga, para lamang mapaalala sa kada senador na sila'y nakaupo hindi bilang legislator, kung hindi bilang impeachment judge. If only to constantly remind them while they're there, seated, in the same seat that they usually sit in, that they are there as impeachment court judges, not as ordinary legislators. If only for that. Kung ako tatanungin, mas gusto kong meron. Wala. Sa pagkakaalam ko, wala.
Sir, unfair daw yung walang wig, sabi niyo ba?
Ano?
Unfair na walang wig.
Okay, Jojo.
Sa ibang jurisdiction o bansa kasi may ganon yung mga maestrado eh.
Okay, Jojo.
Yes.
Sa iba na balitin nyo na magkakaroon ng pre-trial and then yung mag-i-start ang impeachment trial at 28 Congress na cross-examination ba kaagad na yun?
Posible. Ayokong sabihing safe gawin dahil pagpapasyahan pa lamang yan ng mga miyembro ng Senado pagbalik namin ng June 2. Pero yung mga option na to, ipepresenta at ilalahad namin sa mga miyembro para makonsidera at mapagbotohan pagdating ng June 2.
Yung ba isa sa magandang option para mas mapapadali matapos itong impeachment trial?
Ulitin ko, hindi namin to ginagawa para madalian. Yan ay nakapaloob sa rules of court na suppletorily applicable na kailangan naming ibagay sa proseso ng impeachment na kakaiba sa isang civil, administrative o criminal case kung saan sumasaklaw yung rules of court. So, pagpapasahan yan ng Senado pagbalik namin. Pero lahat ng options na to ipepresent namin sa kanila.
Okay, last 3 questions from Poca.
Uy, ubusin nyo na para hindi na wala ng interview pagkatapos nito.
Thank you, Sally.
Bakasyon na eh.
Sir.
Yes,
Sir,
of course.
good morning.
May bisita pala tayo ngayong umaga.
Medyo marami kami.
Yes.
Sir, you perfectly remember the moment when that envelope was not opened during the impeachment trial of President Estrada.
I was a congressman, yes.
Yes,
I
sir.
remember that. I was not here.
Yeah. I'm sure that you totally want to avoid such a volatile political impasse. But how?
By maintaining the credibility and impartiality of the impeachment court, which is what I'm trying to do beginning today. Again, without fear nor favor, nang walang pinapaboran, nang walang kinikitilang karapatan, gagampan na namin yung aming tungkulin. Pero sa dulo, sang-ayon kasi sa rules on impeachment. Kaya di ba si Senator Pimentel noon ay nagbitiw, kung tama ang pagkakaalala ko. Dahil under the Constitution, ang uupo bilang presiding officer talaga kapag ini-impeach ang presidente ay Chief Justice. Hindi naman talaga, wala namang co-presiding eh. Wala rin namang majority leader ang impeachment court eh. Ginawa lamang nila noon yun eh. Kung talagang korte yan, Chief Justice ang presiding officer sa presidente pag in-impeach. It's the Senate President that presides in relation to other impeachable officers, Vice President down. At ang proseso ay, anumang order initially will be decided upon by the presiding officer. If a member disagrees, he can stand up, question it, or object to it, pagbobotohan ng plenaryo. Yun yung proseso. Masunod man o hindi yung gusto ng nakararami, yun ang desisyon ng korte. Ngayon, pwede rin desisyon na ng presiding officer kung ayaw niyang magpasya. Sasabihin niya, ayokong magpasya dyan, ibabato ko sa plenaryo. Kayo mag-decide. Kung ano man ang maging resulta nun, yun ang susundin ko bilang presiding officer. Sang-ayon man yan ng taliwas sa gusto ng mas nakararami. Yun yung proseso eh. Actually, they had no choice at that time but to follow the majority.
Sir, follow up.
Yes, please.
Sir, the matter of shifting an impeachment case from the 19th to the 20th Congress, we heard your position, but can that be questioned and clarified with, for example, the Supreme Court?
Of course. They can do that. Pero unahan ko na rin. Kung gagawin man nila yan, maliban na lamang kung may temporary restraining order na i-issue ang Korte Suprema kaugnay nito sa transition na ito, magpapatuloy ang trabaho namin, 19th o 20th Congressman yan, at hindi pwedeng gamiting rason dahilan o palusot yan ninuman, prosecution man o respondent na may nakabingbing kaso, basta't walang temporary restraining order. Yun lamang ang pipigil sa Kongreso na magpatuloy sa proseso ng impeachment.
Okay,
Pero karapatan po nila yun.
Okay, last
Pero
question.
sagutin ko rin siguro, pero para sa akin, so may 1-year ban, gagawin uli, lalong tatagal, lalo tayong maghaharap sa iba't iba. Hindi ba gusto na magkabilang panig? Kabilang na impeachment judges, ha? Hindi ba natin gustong lahat na matapos ito? One way or the other. And I think it's in everybody's interest.
Teka, last 2 question na lang tayo.
Hindi, okay lang.
Sige.
Okay lang, basta
Go
wala
ahead.
ng interview pagkatapos ito. Para
Okay.
makasyon na.
Okay, go ahead.
SP, good morning. Michael Flores po sa Reuters. Marinaga Tabi.
Siring man.
Sir, you mentioned that as Senate President, you have the power to set the agenda for during plenary, and it was asked earlier that and you mentioned that it's possible na you can convene as an impeachment court should the President authorize a special session over another matter. So, as Senate President, will you include that in the agenda should the President decide to hold a special session?
If the Secretariat is ready, yes, it will be included in the agenda, but it's not my sole decision. It will be voted upon by plenary. You're not usually with us on a daily basis, except for today, perhaps because of the impeachment complaint. Everything we do, although it's not being objected to, it seems like it's an order being issued by me. Everything we do is subject to the vote of the majority. So kung wala nag-object, ibig sabihin, bumoto silang lahat pabor doon. If someone objects, then we have to put it to a vote. But these things are decided upon by plenary, not by the presiding officer alone.
Sir, may patanong, yung daw bang verdict ng impeachment court can still be appealed sa Korte Suprema?
As far as I know, no.
Final na yun, sir.
It has been tried, I think. I forget the ruling. For having committed grave abuse of discretion or something, but I think the Supreme Court dismissed it. Again, if my recollection serves me right. But I'm not sure.
Okay, from Bloomberg?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Senator, I have a non-impeachment related question. About
one of the laws we passed?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Finally.
It's a bill that you authored, I believe, about that bill on
mining.
Exactly, prohibiting what's the status of that, sir, and has it reached the BICAM?
I think we passed it on third reading, but the period is 10 years. Not 5.
Ba't nakalagay dun?
5 ba o 10? Alam ko 10 eh.
5.
5 ba?
Yung effectivity after 5 years pa.
5 ba?
5 ba nakalagay?
Hindi ba in-amend na 10? Pakicheck na lang.
5 years nakalagay.
Sa bill o sa in-approve namin?
Oo.
Pakicheck.
Yung effectivity ng ban, parang 5 years after.
5 o 10? Hindi ko na maalala eh. Ano bang...
Pero nakita namin PR. Kaya 5 din nakita namin, sir. Pero sir...
But the reason for that mining ban is this. Again, why reinvent the wheel if it has been reinvented? We're looking at Indonesia. Ginawa ng Indonesia, nag-impose ng mining ban within a certain period. Now they have several processing plants. 4, I believe. The Philippines is one of the richest mineral-rich country in the world. We are 3rd or 4th mineral-rich country in the world. So mineral-wise, the Philippines is actually a rich country pretending to be poor. The problem is, which is why I filed a resolution to investigate it during the recess, yung mga exploration permit at MPSA na ini-issue, ang daming hindi ginagamit at tumatakbo. Ewan ko sa DNR kung bakit hindi nila nire-revoke. Non-use is a valid ground for revocation. Hinahawakan lang to ng kung sino-sinong nung nakapwesto ay kinuha lahat para lamang ibenta, wala naman silang puhunan para talaga i-explore. Again, we're a mineral-rich country pretending to be poor. If this is done, I believe this will be a game changer for our country. If we will have processing finally here, here in our country. For those who are concerned na 5 years is too short, then convince us and ask for 7, 8, 10. But don't tell me we don't need this. Don't tell me you don't want this for your country. Don't tell me you don't want this for the Filipino. Biro mo yung iron ore, yung copper, yung nickel dito minimina, tapos dadalhin sa China, sa ibang bansa, ipoprocess, tapos bibili natin ng mas mahal dahil yung value added ginawa doon, igaling dito yun. Di ba? Maawa na tayo sa bansa natin. Sa dami ng batas na pinasa natin para sa mga negosyante, pasa naman tayo ng isa kahit paano. The entire fiscal mining bill favors mining companies to make it easier for them, more attractive for them. Ito naman yung sukle. Makapagbigay ng trabaho sa Pilipino, value added at buwis dito kesa galing na lamang sa ibang bansa palagi yung finished product o value added product.
Okay, follow up.
Yeah. So 5 years, Senator. So the BICAM will likely be held in June na po, no?
Actually, I'm hoping it'll be done during the break.
During the break.
Para pag-resume namin, ma-ratify namin.
And the
Nakalimutan ko pala yun sa mga bill na binanggit ko.
Oo nga.
And
Ikaw pa naman nag-sponsor.
And the mining companies will have a chance to maybe make an argument, no, to extend it.
Of course, I've heard their arguments actually.
Okay.
I've talked to most of them already because they sent position papers already. But again, I will also appeal, if they want to appeal this, I want to appeal to them too. Don't talk to me about removing that provision. Touring naman yun eh. Talk to me about hindi kaya ng 5, pwede ba 7? Hindi kaya ng 7, pwede ba 8, 10? But don't tell me we don't need this. Don't tell me that we should not do this. Because that is clearly wrong and un-Filipino.
So sir, once implemented, may estimate magkano yung additional income at additional job opportunities ang mabibigay nito?
Wala, kasi wala tayong malaking steel plant dito. Sinasabi nila palagi may problema sa kuryente. Noon yun. Former President Marcos, Ferdinand Marcos Sr., believed that no country without a steel industry will ever industrialize. And if you look at every other country in the world, except for Singapore perhaps, given the limited territory they have, we need to have our own steel industry. Ang typical na sinasabi nila, mataas daw ang presyo ng kuryente rito. Darling, kaya mo yun. Kaya mong i-ano yun.
Okay.
Nawala.
Nawala tuloy. Sorry.
Mataas yung presyo ng kuryente, pero hindi naman with solar, with renewable, these issues can be addressed. So I hope, again, I'm hopeful because this is clear. There's no vested interest behind this proposal. The only interest behind this proposal is the best interest of the Filipino people and the nation for us to develop finally as a country.
Okay.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
Buena Bernal of CNA Channel News Asia. Can we get an English soundbite on? So the elections were gathered.
Hirap yun, ah. Yes, please.
The signatures at the House were gathered pre-election, where, as you know, political influence is high because of the carrots that could be there. Now, unwittingly or otherwise, the Senate, you say post-elections, would be the impeachment trial court. But now, because that's a constitutional process, and there are quarters who say that this is political vendetta. Can you talk about the Senate, this body where you are a leader, being a political tool to affirm what experts have described as a core problem in Philippine politics, which is personality politics?
It cuts both ways. I will try to English as best as I can. It cuts both ways, remember. you referred to carrot politics, but given that it's election time, those who signed may have been blinded by that. I'm not saying that they were. But what about those who did not sign? Weren't they motivated by politics as well? It is a political process. So it's unfair to accuse only those who signed of politics and not those who did not sign. They were both engaged. In politics. And as I said earlier too, given that we're only translating what I said earlier in Filipino, remember? And as I said earlier too, I think it's an opportunity, given that it's election time and campaign season leading to the 2025 elections, that we actually have a chance of this being an issue-based election, at least insofar as members of the House and members of the Senate are concerned, with the admonition on the part of the members of the Senate for them not to be too partisan with respect to saying what their judgment will be should they win and become an impeachment judge. I hope this will be asked by voters in debates, what their position is or will be, and let that be the basis of the judgment of our people, whether or not to vote for them in the coming elections.
In relation to a bill passed in this body, can you talk about the importance of creating a defense economy, a local defense economy in the Philippines, especially given the situation in the West Philippines?
You're talking of SPEDEZA. Yes. Given the situation in the West Philippine Sea and given our dependence on our allies for our own defense, I think this is the first step towards being self-sufficient with respect to being able to defend ourselves instead of simply borrowing missile systems from other countries. Perhaps we can also start doing our own R&D for ourselves, uniquely applicable to our situation, given that we're the only archipelago, as I understand, in the world. Add to that the fact that it will provide jobs and hopefully export opportunities to other countries of whatever may be produced within the Philippines.
Okay, last question.
Japanese
Yes,
Kyodo
please.
News, Sasaki.
Sa ilong lang.
Nosebleed. Okay, go ahead.
I wish to ask you about the proposal of plebiscite in Sulu. The adjournment of Senate means that you think you don't need to make an urgent decision of the potential plebiscite before the BAM election in October.
Sir, I have a problem with that bill, actually. Why? The main reason why Sulu was excluded from BARM to begin with is a Supreme Court decision that said, you've asked Sulu so many times already, and it was only until they said yes that you stopped asking. That's why Sulu was removed from BARM. And here we are asking them again? Didn't we read the Supreme Court decision? And what is the impact, if at all, of the Supreme Court decision on this new law again that we're passing? So it might be begging the question, given the Supreme Court decision already. So we need to study it further, whether or not the Supreme Court decision actually bars us from asking them again, which we have done 4 or 5 times already, which is one of the main reasons for excluding. Remember, the Supreme Court said, among others, you've asked them several times whether or not to join, but you didn't ask anyone who already joined if they want to leave. That's unfair. That's wrong. So the counterpart measure of this would be, we can ask Sulu again, but will we ask the others if they can leave? These things should be studied at the risk of passing an unconstitutional law once again.
Okay, another question from Pokat.
Pam po from AFP. Sir, just to clarify, you've mentioned po na pag-uusapan ang rules during the recess. So tatanong ko lang po kung meron bang specific timeline on that?
None. The deadline would be on June 2 when we resume. What we will be doing essentially is I will be instructing the Senate Secretary, Senate Legal, in consultation with some experts in the legal field that we might get as outsourced resource persons to draft amended rules, updating it with respect to the rules of court, and answering some of the gaps discovered during the Corona trial. Most of the officials at that time are still here. and make the corresponding recommendations during the recess, send them to the members of the 19th Congress so they can study it, evaluate it, refer it to their own consultants so that we can act on it and vote upon it when we resume.
Okay, last question from JV.
Isa lang po.
Yes, sir.
Okay po. Ayun, given the marami pa tayong kailangang ihabol na bills, sapat na
Actually,
po ba?
konti na lang, mga 7.
Konti na lang. So are
Mga
you
7.
Okay, sorry po. So are you confident na from June 2 to 13 may papasa natin, may ratify natin, or gusto nyo sana magkaroon ng special session?
I am hopeful we can do it within the 6 session days. Why? Even if it has not yet been approved on second reading. No. Even if it has not yet been reported out in committee. If they do that during the recess, we can report it out on Monday. Remember, we have 6 session days. We can report it out on the first day, sponsor it on the first day or on the second day, subject it to interpellations for 3 days. No, I'm sorry. For 1 day, approve it on second reading, and with the 3-day notice, approve it on third reading. If we extend sessions on a Thursday, we can do more. If the President certifies it as urgent, then we can dispense with the 3 days. So, I am very hopeful that yes, we can. With the assistance of the Executive, if it is a priority measure, we can abbreviate the process and pass certain other bills that haven't even been sponsored on the floor in the 6 remaining session days that we have, while at the same time acting on the rules on impeachment.
Okay, sir, pahabol na lang. According to Senator Amy Marcos, ayaw niya ng impeachment, ayaw niya ng destabilization, ayaw niya ng gulo sa ating bansa. Ang reason, ang dami na daw problema, mataas ang presyo ng bilihin, naghihirap ang mga Pinoy. So, impeachment ba at destabilization ang solusyon? Nakakahiya, bagkus daw na harapin ang dumaraming tunay na problema ng bansa. May basis po ba yung kanya?
I respect her decision, especially given that she's a re-electionist that should be focusing on sharing with our people her position on these issues, which she's exactly doing. However, it is now a reality and a fact, whether we like it or else. Nasa amin na yun. At meron kaming trabaho at constitutional duty na gampanan nito. Ang panawagan ko at ang sisikapin kong gawin, gaya ng sabi ko, tiyakin na ito yung magiging patas, parehas na ayon sa batas, walang kinikilingan at walang pinapaboran. Higit sa resulta, ang importante ay kapanipaniwala at may kredibilidad ang proseso. Iyon ang aming tututukan at bibigyan ng pansin.
Pero yung gano'ng statement, hindi makaka-apekto sa kanyang pagiging impartial or fair as impeachment judge.
Again, she was talking of the impeachment process. Not, again, okay lang naman sabihin, bakit ba? Sana wag na lang. Karapatan na yun.
Okay.
Wala naman siyang binanggit o sinabi kaugnay sa boboto sa pabor o kontra. Doon sa nasasakdal.
Okay, on that note, thank you so much, Senate
Uy, wala nang
President Jesus
interview,
Cordero. No more.